Alright guys, brand new to the channel, never done this before. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, people doing different things, and sorry about the lighting, we're working on this. We're going to be doing some unboxing of United States paper money and some foreign paper money, and potentially collections that I buy or that customers would like to be shown. When you submit an order to PMG, they send you back, this would be an open box. They actually come back express or registered mail, and then we open them up and then, you know, do all that. But this is still sealed from PMG. I haven't looked at it. Of course, I've looked at the grades online, but I haven't actually seen the notes in hand to see if everything worked out. You see I'm taking a knife. I think if this takes off and gets, you know, gets a little bit of clout and people find this interesting, I think we are going to invest in it a little bit more. This type of submission is in a small box like this is usually most likely like economy or standard or something with more expensive notes. And it's really packed in there tight. I'm having a hard time getting the notes out. This is normally how they come, just jam-packed. Right there's a quick glimpse, just a quick glimpse. I'm not seeing any paperwork, so this could be part of another submission. Yeah, this was part of a small bulk order actually that I submitted. That's how they come out, just like that. Cool. So, I was hoping I could get through a few of these today so I could actually get some things sold and listed on eBay, and so my submission paperwork says there's 59 notes here. That looks about right. These were some little partial packs that somebody discovered, and just because a note's not very old doesn't mean that it's not collectible. You know, like these more modern high denoms are starting to become more and more popular. High denom being $50 and $100 issues. So start out, try to hold these the best I can so you guys can see them. But you know, 66 is kind of, you know, that's a good higher end collector grade. You know, somebody who wants a nice note with nice margins front and back, bright color, no handling. Just because a note has handling, it doesn't mean that it's not uncirculated. These were just nice original bank strap packs, and you'll see there's eventually going to be breaks in the serials because they weren't 100% consecutive. So when I grade, I try to shoot for, I want to make fives and sixes, but sometimes packs don't come like that, and you're just going to get threes and fours. So this probably isn't the most exciting content to be uploading, but it's cool that these packs still exist, and there's still lots of nice notes out there to get people into collecting and to get them started. These are actually stuck together, but you know, this is a nice sequential pair of $50 feds from, looks like there's two different packs mixed. Nope, these are all Philadelphia. Sometimes I get confused. I see the C prefix and I think that it's Cleveland. So there's some sixes. Sorry about this light, man. This light is the bane of my existence, I think. 65. There's a 6. We tried to put like a a little bit of a filter on it, you know, but it has to do with the angle of like how the plastic sits, and then you lose a little bit of detail in your camera. See, like right there, this note graded 64, really shallow margins on the left side, and the back isn't nearly as centered well. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that's kind of a telltale of a 64 grade. You'll see here, real short left margin. The back's actually not that far off, but when your faceplate is that far off, that means the registration's that much more obscured. Registration is the alignment of the back plate to the faceplate. So when they print notes, they print the backs first, and then they print the faces. So look at here. There's a 67. So that means this note has superb margins from front to back, left to right, up and down, and it also means that the registration is really tight. So you see in the camera, everything looks really good. It's a really nice note. Wow, 68. Normally when you make a 68, you would have a run of gems. You know, like normally you would have a couple 67s before you would get a 68, just because it's just how they, you know, how everything was aligned at the BEP when they were printing. It's a really nice note, really choice collector grade. Should sell pretty quick, top pop. And then here's the back-to-back 67. So this is exactly how they should come when you make a 68, you know. They should always run in sequential. So 81, 82. So this was the start of that pack, actually, because this note doesn't fit. This note would have been from a different pack, serial 18 instead of 81. Wild. Looks like they have it mixed up, because here you go back to serial 19, which isn't uncommon. You know, guys, like, they're putting stuff in a box, they're graded notes. You know, nobody's perfect. Another 64, doesn't really, you know. Another gem. Look at here, 68. That actually fits in line with those, the serial number fits in line with those others. That's pretty cool. Nice 64. Another 67. 7. Oh wow, another 8. Sometimes, you know, even when you see the grades post, it's funner to see the notes in hand, because, you know, 68s, we don't get them in the currency world. They don't happen as often as you think. The reason for grading the entire pack and not just trying to pull out the 68s and 67s is there's a collector, it seems like, for every grade, and you know, the 65s and 6s are going to be a little bit more budget friendly in the end. Here's a trio of 67s. That's pretty rad. Depending on the value of the note, so like, you know, it's not cost efficient for me to make 64s on $1 Federal Reserve notes, but 64, like, to make a 64 grade on a 50 is, I probably, you know, there's probably a little bit of money to be made, but it's not going to be, it's not like making a 7, you know. And sometimes it's hard to pluck 66 and higher out of packs, because you know, the grading standard changes between series. So, you know, of course you always want to look at your margins. You know, how well does a note face up? You know, how is your left to right? How is your top to bottom? You know, how is the registration? Looks like this is going to be an alright little group of notes here. Lots of 7s. I think there was another one of these packs that came back that I wasn't so fortunate on. And it was just one of those deals where the population on these are super low, like less than 15 notes graded by PMG. And I'm sure there's a collector out there just dying to get a, you know, a 68 for their collection. Sometimes too, you know, like people don't just collect the series or the denomination, but they also collect the district. So some, you know, if a guy's got a Philadelphia set and he's collecting series of 1990 and he's got, you know, he's got some of the other denoms, it's crucial for him to try to get the 50 or the 100. And there's just not a lot to choose from out there, especially when you get into some of the tougher districts. And I think I had some graded. There might be a Richmond pack in here, or Cleveland. My computer's gonna ding every once in a while. I've got people messaging me, and like I said, guys, if this takes off and things work out, we're gonna update this camera situation, and we're just gonna upload a few crude videos, get a feel for it, get some feedback. Especially we're new to this. Like, you know, I'm a currency dealer, not a YouTube connoisseur. I just thought this would be a really neat idea to kind of share, like, the background of what I do and kind of how our industry works. Now, like these types of notes, you know, in like 66 and 65, they're kind of generic, and the price point on them is very affordable. It's when you get into your 67s and 68s is when you're going to see a little bit of, you know, wallet bending to want to purchase one. I'm probably not going to be the one selling these notes. I'm probably just going to flip these to another dealer that I know. It gets, you know, my time's super limited already, and I'm gonna come into work early to try to make these videos. So when I was talking about how notes follow in line, so here's serial 71, here's serial 72, and you went from an 8 to a 6, but the note prior to that was a 70. So this, it's very rare you get a pack where all the notes are 68 or 60, you know, 69s are really hard to pull. I've yet to make a 70 on any note in any grade, regardless of being foreign. My nicest note I've ever made was a 69 star, and that's where they put the little star up here on the right hand side next to before EPQ, so it'll say 67 and then a black star that says EPQ next to it. These are just really nice, wholesome, easy to collect notes. I really like the look of the early small head 50s also. It kind of takes me back to my childhood a little bit, and you know, when mom would have a $50 bill in her purse and you were just, your jaw would drop because you know, $50, wow. And nowadays it's like $50 won't even get you, you know, you and your lady a date night of sushi, you know. Here's a really rare thing, or an anomaly, and maybe not so much rare, but sequential trio of 68s. So, you know, the Earth, the Moon, and the stars had to align just right to pull this one off, just because how the registration and how the sheets get loaded. You know, it's such an easy thing. Wow, look at there. There's actually 4 in a row. That's pretty wild. Look at there. 4 8s. And the note before that was a 7, so, you know, you knew like that next pack was probably where you're going to pull your 69 or your real grade. So that's it for this video. I'm going to do a couple more pre-recorded videos, try to post them up today, just get people interested in it. Maybe someone wants to listen to me talk, I don't know. just trying things. Alright, man. Later.